live, and we are live. Shout out to Esserin Odetta. Thank you for being the first one in this morning. Sean Cassell is right there, and Devin Gale is right there. Sean says, please hit the like as you enter live. Thank you. I'm asking you, please hit the thumbs up button as you enter the live. It helps these videos to trend. It helps YouTube to place the videos properly so people know that we are here and they join us in these lives, right? Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special, big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. The Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the bus drivers. Shout out to the train drivers. Shout out to the AC people them out there keeping us cool in this hot summer. Shout out to whatever your profession is, law enforcement profession. Shout out to medical field. Shout out to military personnel. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person out there, out to get it, who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. A different kind of want good. Shout out to you. Here we are on another beautiful morning. We're up and we are healthy and giving thanks to the Most High for being able to do this another day. Big up to everybody tuning in this morning. I see Cena Sexy, Purple Royal, Debbie Jervis, Beast Boy, Dorothy T, Marcia Walters, Sharon Spence, Unstoppable Josh is in the building. Roxy 21 is with us. Andrea Cherves, Onika St. John Jones or St. John, King Biggs, BM Main One, Elaine Brown, Prillis 123, David Gale, Sean Cassell. And of course, the first person in Esserin Odetta this morning, Lil Red Gucci 2. Thank you for being here this morning. Let me see. Dion McFarlane, thank you for being here. Karen Notice, big up yourself. Big boys at Esserin Odetta have an app for the notification. LOL. Esserin, I haven't seen you contacting me about your shirts. If you did, I missed it. Please contact me about your shirt. If you want the shirt. If not, then it's fine. Right? Shout out to everybody, man, this morning. It's a beautiful morning. We give thanks, and here we are. We got some topics to go over this morning. The child is not mine. She lied to me for 11 years. I'm going to talk a little bit about a video I saw with a man who just discovered that his woman has been lying to him for 11 years, his wife. And he went and did a DNA test behind her back with his son, and the son is not his. And, we're going to talk about something else, but it pertains to that, right? Mad Cobra is now released on bond. So we're going to do an update to Mad Cobra being released. I'm beard looks so. Being released. Caught in a policeman's house. Police gives him 9 shots. Is a hot story out of Jamaica right now. Apparently, a young man was caught in a policeman's house, and the policeman gave him 9 shots in Jamaica, but it is turning out to be something else because the people are saying it's not what the police put on that report that happened. Is a domestic affair. It is one of those love triangle situations, but we're going to talk about that. We'll get into that. Mr. Vegas confronts a man on video who he alleged molested his son in Jamaica, but the man is no longer in Jamaica. I don't know if you saw the video. I have the video right here. Urban Islands have the video as well. Shout out to Dancehall Mag. We're going to go from Dancehall Mag this morning as well. And marital rape laws in Jamaica. The question is, can a husband rape his wife? YouTube ain't too fond of these kind of words, so we won't be saying the whole word again too many times. We will just say his wife, so you will know what that means from now on, right? If we have time, we'll get into that. Before I go, though, I was just thinking, before I start, I was just thinking this morning, like I saw somebody says, I grew up eating what was on my plate and wearing what my parents could afford. And that is how I learned appreciation. And I thought to myself, that's probably why my kids ain't too appreciative, because they have choices. My kids are raised differently. My youth them raised like, say, if I cook curry chicken for dinner, first of all, I ask them what they want for dinner, because I don't want to cook something that they don't want. And I think back to growing up, and nobody ever asked me what I wanted for dinner. That was just not one of the things that was asked. You nyam what you get, right? Plain and simple. If it's on your plate, that's what's for dinner, and you're gonna eat it. Right? Matter of fact, you're going to eat it. So you have to eat it. I don't know. Chicken bati was like the worst thing you could ever put on my plate. And for some reason, I always get the chicken bati. Especially when it curry and it did oily. And then I throw it so and it can't done through. And it's like that nasty taste in my mouth. We didn't have a choice. We had to eat it. So I'm just weighing up, how the youths are being raised today versus how we were raised, kind of thing. What you get to wear is what you wear. Them never used to ask me, you like these shoes? You like this shirt? What name brand shoes or shirt you want? You get some shoes and them don't have no name on it. Them name Ikes. You have to go just draw on the end and make your own Nike sign, which is what I did. I was good at art, so I'm drawing my Nike sign on my shoes then, but my mother never asked me what you want to wear. We used to put on some big honcho boots. They were actually called honcho boots. They were construction shoes. And she was like, them shoes that will last you a long time. Some thick sole construction boot that she used to buy, give me if we wear go to school, And I remember one time she bought these cowboy looking boots, pointy front and had high heels. Look like they have one spur on the back of it. So me look like some Mexican car. My jeans them used to tight and these kind of things and some flowers shirt. But I didn't have a choice. It was what I was given. I just did have to bear it and bear the laugh after when I went to school with it and all that. Right? Same thing for the food. What it is that is cooking for dinner today is none of your business. When dinner time come, we knock plate and call you. And dinner is ready and you eat what you get. Then pick there. My kids, man, my kids are like, I don't want that. After me done cook dinner, for everybody and make me proper measurements and say, okay, I'm cooking for 8 people, big pot, this and the other. All right, I don't want that. What do you want then? I want something else. Okay, what do you want? I don't know. Wendy's maybe, or and I'm end up giving them what they want, I end up giving them what they want. I never say you have to eat what I cook. I'm like, you have choices. See? My kids put in orders. Same thing for me, Onika St. John. My youth them put in them order. They'll be in the next room and they text me their order. The other day, they are one different place, and I had to like order their food Uber Eats and deliver it to the address where they were at and these kind of things. So my youth them spoiled and they're just not getting raised how I was raised. Sometimes I think I should do what was done to me to them because I'm a very appreciative person and it doesn't take much to make me happy. Whereas them, well, me no know. My boys don't really ask for anything. My daughter though, my daughter is 9, and my daughter, I don't know if she thinks her father rich or what the case is, but she just have a long list of stuff that she always wants, and she never want what me cook. She always have a different plan. If I want to go to the beach, she have a different plan. If I want to eat this, she have a different plan. If I like that outfit, she have a different plan. So them spoil. Them spoil. But just a funny thing I thought I would say before we went on with the morning. One more thing I wanted to address quickly. I see somebody left a big old comment yesterday about, it started out like this, and it's still there under the video. So what are you going to do with all the money? You're gonna take it with you when you're dead, is what it started out saying. This is directed to me. What you gonna do with all the money? You're gonna take it with you when you're dead. The people who helped to build you block those people so they can't even comment on your live show in the mornings. First of all, what I'm going to do with all the money. It's crazy that I still have to be explaining this to people. I mean, I appreciate the support, but for 6 years, I gave you completely free content for 6 whole years. And if you look at how many videos it says SouFLoTV uploaded to YouTube, it's literally thousands of videos. I want you to show me one person that gave you so much for free any given time in your life. you know. And then for the money part, you are under the perception that SouFlo is making so much money if you get your membership and you're able to join. You start count how many people name is in green. You start multiply it by 10. You start listen, I'm trying to explain to you that it's not all these people you see that you have this perception that they have all this money and all this other stuff is not real. That's not how it goes. YouTube takes a huge chunk out of just the membership fees. All these names you see in green, if each person paid $9 or $10 for their membership, YouTube takes, I believe, is 40% of that, almost 50% that gone already, right? So don't sit there and start to count subscribers and be like, okay, I'm have 300 and something thousand subscribers times $1 at least. That's $300,000. Y'all are crazy. Stop watching people pockets. What I'm doing, you can do it too. I've told people this before. Find your interest. Find what it is you really love to do. I was speaking to a lady the other day. She says, SouFlo, I love knit. I mean, knit all kind of something, you know, crochet. She crochet sweaters. She crochet bed linen. She crochet all kind of stuff. And I say, you coach, she said, me did that thing for open a YouTube channel, you know, but me don't know if anybody are gonna be interested in seeing boring crocheting video. I said, what? There's a whole section of YouTube. You find what it is you love to do, and you will be surprised to see the audience that is out there that will tune in to your thing, right? So stop walking around and watch people, man, and start and count people pocket and talk about every penny they get. And again, that is us, right? A lot of us. We don't mind spending a lot of money with other people, and then we brag about the nice things we bought from these other people. Watch my $300 shoes. A shirt loan at my youth at $250 US. And that's light. You saw me, I said, watch for my hand, wait name, can't pronounce the name. Now watch ya 17,000 US. I talk about, man, a ball like this, and y'all show off on everything. And then when it's time for you to come support your own, you're like, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you that you're charging membership for the live. Listen, let me explain it again. The live is a privileged part of why these people pay. This is a whole different level of support. These people pay to come to form a community on the morning videos in the morning and talk and develop relationships with each other even and all that, right? And we're not promoting no nastiness, and we're not promoting no disrespect and no hostile community, and they enjoy it. Why shouldn't I be able to have that to offer? What you want me offer the people them that's paying? You want me give them the same thing that you're getting for free? It can't happen. It cannot happen. So stop with those comments, man. They really make me feel a certain kind of way because I have contributed so much and I continue to give so much for free. The big long comment that the person typed, he typed it for free. All the content, him watch all of them for free. You understand? And you're vexed. You're vexed because you want everything from me for free. Now to your question about what Karen noticed, I appreciate you greatly. Thank you. About what I'm going to do with the money. Hear me out. Whatever little money may I get, you see, I'm a father of 6, and I'm not a holiday daddy. I'm not a once in a while drop off little something for the picnic them kind of daddy. Them are my everyday responsibility. So some people who you see have one picnic, go ask them if it's cheap. Go ask them if you see them with 2, go ask them if it's cheap. Go ask them how you manage to take care of 2. When you see a man say a 6 him have, right? And I'm not collecting no government assistance or any assistance from anybody else. So what you think I'm going to do with the money? Whatever little money I'm getting. You're probably richer than me. Let me shatter your perception right now. You are probably richer than me. You just see a person who does what he loves to do. And God bless me with the little platform so it grow because I come and I talk sense to the people them. That's it, my brother. Nothing else, right? You try to take care of 6 kids and then tell me how that work out. Tell me about the monthly bills. Not to go too far into my life, but I pay thousands of dollars per month just in bills when it comes to taking care of picnic, maintaining a property and lifestyle. As far as you ever order dinner for your youth them yet? When my kids them say, I don't want that, Dad, I want Pizza Hut. Come on now. Everybody wants to give their child or their children a good life, right? Why should you deny them everything? Me not gonna make me pick them eat grass, or I'm not gonna force them to eat stuff they don't want to eat all the time. So every now and then you treat. Let me give you an idea. When all my kids are gathered and my whole family is together, and once the word Pizza Hut comes out of my children's mouth, my mind says, bing, 250 US dollars. That's dinner for one day. That's to give you an idea. Okay? Miss Goldie, big up yourself. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. That's to give you an idea. So stop watch people the way you're doing and forming these false narratives about people. Them something that will make people stalk you out the road and want to kill you in a man. Because they have this whole false narrative about you. That's not how it goes. If my youth them ever say Pizza Hut, anytime them say it, and it's one of their favorite things to get. All right, Pizza Hut probably know it by name, and when them see the number, them know exactly how the order's supposed to be prepared and all that. That's how often it's done. My mind already said, bing, 250, cause that's the bill. Don't make my youth them say seafood, right? Seafood, bing, 350. That's it. 350. You know what I can do at Jamaica with 350 US dollar? You know how, go ask somebody who's living in Jamaica right now who is working for $89.89 for a 40-hour work week, because that is Jamaica's base pay for minimum wage employment. And majority of all the work there is minimum wage it start out at, right? And you there privileged enough to be able to dash away 350 pan one dinner. But it's the amount of people them may have, is the amount of picnic them have been blessed with. So nobody watch me them kind of way there, fam. I appreciate the support. I appreciate that you still tune in, but don't malice me. I'm trying to survive like everybody else. I'm trying to give my kids a nice life like everybody else wants for their children. That's why I'm say, wish good for others as much as you wish good for yourself. Right? Right. Because what I want for my kids, I want the same thing for your youth, them too. Your kids are like my kids. I'm that kind of a person. Children are mine, period. See? So I want the same things for my kids that I want for your kids. Dorothy T says, we appreciate you and your content. Haters are not important. Yeah, but I realize, you know what I realized, Dorothy T? When I leave the comment there, right, it starts to multiply. Yeah, because somebody else come and said the same thing under it and hit the like button on it, and the like numbers on that comment just keep growing and growing and growing. And I'm like, how many of these people are out there? So let me address it to them. Hopefully they're tuning in this morning and they hear me and them get a better understanding and all that. See, big up to the people them whose names are in green, who give a different level of support. I couldn't pay for this kind of support. Yeah. You put this out there and you hope it happens, and then it does, and you have to say, thank you, God. I'm blessed. And mind you, almost half of that not coming to me. All right. With that said, we can start off with, let's quickly brush the Mr. Vegas video. Let's start off with that one because I find it quite exciting to watch, quite disturbing to watch as well. Karen noticed that they listen but they don't hear. I'll put it this way. They hear but they don't care. That way. So sometimes you're there, bleed out your heart to people. Just know, say, you bleed out your heart to somebody who don't care. and I'm conscious of that, right? But me big up same way. I'm still come do what me do because I love to do it same way. I love to vibe with the people them who support same way. All right. Dancehall artist Mr. Vegas has taken extreme measures to get justice for his son. I was confused at first when I saw the headline. Mr. Vegas confronts a molester or an alleged molester of his son. I'm thinking he was confronting somebody who had molested their own son. But as it turns out, it says that Mr. Vegas' son now come out and said that he was molested by a certain person. And Mr. Vegas, being a father, take it up. You know me say already, right? If you touch one of my own, them everywhere blood up like a shirt. Because I'm just not letting you get away with that. Mr. Vegas has taken some extreme measures to get some justice for his son, as he traveled to a foreign country to confront a man who he claims molested his son. The video is out. I'm going to show you the video here as well. So, but to get you to understand what's in the video. Because some know they're for a long time, so the patwa will miss. You know, when the patwa come fast, some people miss it. And they're like, what's going on? What did he say? So I'm going to clarify everything for you, then let you watch the video. Mr. Vega shared the brave encounter online as he approached the alleged child molester who he named Vanny, who he claims molested several young boys, including his own son, Mr. Vegas's son, in the parish of St. Elizabeth, but the person has migrated to the United States, where he has started a new life to cover up his dirty deeds that he did in the past. In the Instagram video live, Mr. Vegas questions the person named Vanny, who runs away from the camera without answering him. The person did answer him, actually. The person in the video said, "This you do to me," and the person I run and I try hide him face and everything like that. What's your wife's name? How much of the little boys you molest? And that me ask you. This is what Mr. Vegas was saying to him as he was chasing the guy who started to run. The artist also shared himself having a conversation with the wife of the alleged predator, where he revealed to the woman that he was taking these steps to track this man down because of the gross jurisdictional issues that are involved in the case. Mr. Vegas revealed that the Jamaican police were not constrained in arresting Vanny because he had fled the country. So you molest off a bunch of children in Jamaica, you flee the country, people hear that you're living overseas. Jamaican government is not going to send for that person. Oh, he's wanted for molesting a bunch of boys in St. Catherine, extradite him back to Jamaica. They're not going to do it, right? So this one kind of get away from the legal ramifications of things then in the place where he's alleged to have done these things. Him a child molester, divorce him, is what Mr. Vegas was telling the woman. He molested the whole of the little boy them down at St. Elizabeth, Vegas said, as he revealed that the woman also had children with this alleged molester who jumped over a fence to escape being on video as he was running from Mr. Vegas. I guess him take the back fence in the yard and disappeared. Mr. Vegas revealed that he only recently became aware that his son was raped at 7 years old after his son, who is older now, recently attempted to commit suicide. So, of course, being a dad, you're going to ask him, what was going through your mind? What happened? What happened? You seem so angry. You seem so hurt. What is going on with you? Because it's your child, and your child just attempted suicide, and you want to know what caused this, right? The youth revealed that he was molested by this particular person and gave this person name who Vegas went to go confront. He said, I come to confront him for molesting the boys them down at St. Elizabeth, including my son. Run, sister. Fast. Take your picnic and run. Him is a child molester. My son tell me. My son try kill himself. Him started molesting my son from he was 7, is what Mr. Vegas said in the video. He explained to the woman in the video that you will see that the Jamaica Constabulary Force was unable to do anything because the suspect had fled the country, and the suspect is now living in the US with a woman of his own. Maybe he's married, I don't know. Mr. Vegas, whose real name is Clifford Smith, has been very private about his family life, including his children that he has. But he did mention that his children inspired him when he graduated from Broward Community College recently with his, I believe it was an associate's degree or bachelor's degree, whichever, but he graduated from college. So that's not really important now what degree it was. Here is the video, right? I have it on my phone from Pinkwall posted. A bunch of people will take these videos and repost them. The official person for the video is Mr. Vegas. It is his video. So you might see somebody's markings on the video as you're watching it. Try watch around the markings, right? There's the, let me set this up for you real quick so I can give it to you on big screen with some volume. All right, here we go. Let's see. Turn up the volume on this. This thing, we're gonna talk about all this still. So here's the video, I think.
Where your wife name? Where your wife name? Where your wife name? Where your wife name? Don't come near me. Don't come near me. Where your wife name? Where your wife name? How much are the little boy me molest? Batty boy, how much are the little boy me molest? I don't ask you, batty boy. Are you up on your wife? Eh?
Talking to the wife now.
He's a child molester here. Divorce him. He molest the one little boy them now St. Elizabeth. Vanny. And just run him down and run gone and jump the fence and gone.
What did he do a while ago?
Jump the fence and run gone. I know why you know say my child molester. Yeah, me come confront him for molest the little boy them now St. Elizabeth, including my son. Yeah, man. You're just married to him. Tell me everything. You're just married to him.
That's married.
Yeah, and you're fitting with him too. Run, sister. Run. Fast. Molest the little boy them now St. Elizabeth, including my son. Yeah, man. You're just married to him. Tell me everything.
You was on.
Run, sister. Take your pitney and run. Yeah? I'm trying to Jamaica me to make him not dead.
The man say, I try to Jamaica me them make him not dead.
You see? Run in the pitney them. I'm glad to see you drive up here. Take your pitney them and run him at child molester. Him jump the fence and run down. Coward. Fool. You can't face him judgment. Idiot. He beg me say, I'm not call you. I ask him for your number. I see you drive up. He said, give me your wife number. I'm saying, your marriage, I can mash up everything. Run, sister. Child molester. The molester, the whole little boy, they know St. Elizabeth. The Rasta boy, they. I'm going to go to prison. Now, let me pity them to the judgment.
What happened?
No,
No, not you. When you were back there, what happened?
no, I'm not go back there. I come on the part of the vehicle there, and him come out to me.
No, but I'm saying, how did you find him?
Him tell me which time look, I want to talk.
Him tell me where him there because him want to talk.
Tell me on a half year talk with him. Because my son tell me. Because my son try to kill himself. Because I molest him when he was 7.
Your son here? How old is he now?
You see? When he was 7, he started molesting him. At them way molest. And the police them can't do nothing because I live at Jamaica and do it and I foreign him then. That's every angle. So I warn you. Is either listen or you stay making molest your pitney them too. Have a good day, yeah? Yeah? He was warned.
He was warned. So you can go on Urban Islands, shout out to Urban Islands, and you can watch that video again without seeing it this way, like how you just see it yourself. But here are a couple of things that Mr. Vegas said. One, he said, I'm lucky to say I know Jamaica I'm there. Yeah. Because you see in Jamaica you can dash away a man, you know, on some lonely country road where you know say no, you know, I said none of them thing, the camera ain't around and all these things. Also, he's out of the jurisdiction. He's in the US, and the US does things a bit different. Right? Now you heard what he said to the woman, right? Mr. Vegas apparently had a conversation with this guy offline, away from everything, confront him, and it resort to, I want to sit down and have a talk with you. So he was the one that told Mr. Vegas where he is at. That's how, because the wife asks, you know, so how you found him? She's not concerned about, did he really do it? Do you think he really did it? She's not concerned about all that. She's concerned about how you found him. A lot of these women will pick up some dirty man, you know, and as long as them can hide them and that past life don't blow back on them, they don't care about all that. They will just carry on like, say, he is fresh and brand new and him clean and good. And they will know about what was done before. In this case is allegedly, and I can say allegedly, and this allegedly will go all the way to the end of the discussion concerning this. But In this case, if I was a woman and somebody show up on my yard like this and I talk about my husband when we just married, she's obviously American, or she sounds very much like one, right? She happy if you have her little man with her. This could have turned out bad. Because what if that man said, yeah, I want to talk to you offline still, off camera. Me there, 24, 911, 7 something street. Come through. And you go through and the man kill you there. It could have turned out bad. But Mr. Vegas went, right? Because he feels like this is all he can do at this point for his child. I see a lot of people leave a lot of comments. Some people are cold. Some of our people take the dunce thing to a whole new level. There's a whole lot of comments on here pertaining to Mr. Vegas war with Bounty Killer. I don't know how we get to that place there where we can't separate reality from fantasy. For me, clashing is fantasy. When time Vibes Cartel did a clash with Mavado, or Mavado and Vibes Cartel, I got them thing and it was Gully Gaza. And me say Gully and the next man say Gaza, or me say Gaza and the next man say Gully. The rivalry was fierce. But you don't let that interfere with real life stuff. It's two artists who do music. You don't let that interfere with real life stuff, like as far as the children are concerned, as far as your respect for that individual and their work and their legacy and all these other things. You don't take it personal like you want to damage the man because... So these comments are rude. Some of these comments are insensitive and disrespectful. I see one person say, that's funny because your name a call pan body for so long and no man molest off your son. The irony. One person said, so this is how you seek justice for your son? By putting it on the internet that your son was molested by a man? Do you know the stigma that is going to be attached to your son for the rest of his life in Jamaica? A still very homophobic country. This could have been dealt with differently without further caring, without further scarring up your son for life. What? How dare you? You don't have the right to tell this man. You don't have the right to tell this man how to handle this. Gunner Life, see like Gunner Life in the comment section right now. Gunner Life says gay gas, clout chase, as always. How? Did you miss the part where the man said that his son attempted suicide? Did you miss the part where he said that he sat and spoke to his son what could have caused this, and this is the person who his son mentioned that started molesting him from he was 7? Gay gas. Gonna life. You are exactly prime example. And thank you for saying that. So people can see. Just like how them call Mr. Vegas gay gas because Bounty Killer used the word gay gas and then it stuck for whatever reason. And then people use it, right? Now, when it comes time for us to speak about the children that are being molested, the molesters that are getting away, you throw stuff like that in there. It's two different things. That's why I started out saying when time Mavado and Vibes Cartel was warring, is Gully Gaza man draw them side. But when time I see stuff happen to Mavado's son, or when I see anything happen with his daughter, or when I see anything going on with him, when Messi Masado thief for him $30 million and all these things, I still relate back to him as a human being and an experience he's going through that's negative. I don't relate back to move on, go here, that's what happened to you because Cartel are my DJ and they test me DJ and and call him whatever Baba Boy or whatever name was thrown around during their feud. Vegas was the name that was thrown around during the Bounty Killer feud with Mr. Vegas. Now is not the appropriate time for that. Now is not the appropriate time to say anything other than something positive. It could have been your child. If it was your child, you wouldn't want anybody to take not 1 minute of this trivially. Right? Audrey Wright says, mess with me all you want, but when you involve me picking them, and now me have a real problem. That's what I'm saying. So people don't read and listen with comprehension. The US is not going to get involved unless it's a murder. Sometimes they don't care unless it's done in the US. So he's pretty much at a safe space then. Because if Jamaica won't send for him based on these allegations and US won't touch it because it's something that was not done in the US, him safe, right? And he has a woman that's willing to hide him. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hey, SouFLo, how are you?
I'm doing good, family. How are you doing this morning?
All right. So I'm listening you just now talking about the Vegas topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I realize that you've been very objective.
I'm being very objective.
And you've been very much unbiased. Because you're just seeing it from a peer point of view or just the right thing to do and say.
Yes.
But some of the person that's commenting, they listen to Vegas more than you do. They're on its platform. So for example, like maybe some of them beat Vegas because then when Vegas was talking about Bounty Killer Dayton and talk about it only for different things. So what you need to understand that some of these people that commented, they're always on Vegas live. I hear when Vegas will be too out and say a lot of things. So me and you will just talk about the right thing. But maybe if you follow Vegas platform, because you know him a like blogger. Sometimes every night him a blog.
But bro.
So sometimes they're beating him.
Yeah, but beat him another time about something else. But when children are involved, I don't. You see, when other people's kids, if me have an enemy, me not have no enemy that I know about. But if me have an enemy, me and my enemy is about me and my enemy. You see, when me see my enemy children, they're off limits. They're off limits on social media. I'm not gonna go over there and leave comment. You're picking them ugly. I want to the one them look like him blind or him look like him slow or people do these kind of things for whatever reason, and I'm trying to elevate us to a different level. Like when it comes to the kids, we have to get to a serious place. Forget all that was said before. Bounty and Vegas have them beef from God knows when, and it escalated and it died down, and it escalated and it died down. That's besides this. This is a whole different kettle. I shouldn't say kettle of fish. This is a whole different topic. You know, I'm aware. I'm very much aware that them probably tune in more and them hear when him says stuff like the stuff concerning Bounty Killer and somebody who he impregnated that was younger back in the day and whatever and all that. I'm aware of all of it. But I'm trying to say that none of it should be involved in this.
But as I say, I understand everything you're saying.
Right.
But who you were addressing Gun Alive.
Okay.
So me tell you, with Gun Alive, maybe he's all it over Vegas platform.
Right.
So me and you don't know as much as he do. So when me see a reason with him, me tell you that me just make you know maybe why he's the way he is.
But Gun Alive can talk for himself, man. Gun Alive can talk for himself, so and the line open. So I can say why him say what him say. Not true?
Oh, yeah, man. All right, then.
All right, manners.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the line open. We're not talking for no big man in here. The big man them can talk for themselves. Big woman can talk for yourself with an open line. Brave up and call and say what it is you have to say. I'm saying is wrong. Don't say that. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, family. How you doing?
I'm good.
I haven't heard from you in a while. Me the wonder the other day if you're all right on these things. You're good?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm working all the mornings.
All right. Progress.
I level up. I get promoted and stuff. So
congratulations. Good job. Do you think?
Thank you. But who would hear somebody's child who was violated in that way and then decide to post basically you deserve it, or to insult the father.
Yeah.
What kind of mindset do we have
Mm.
as people that we would see our children being hurt, and because of the acts of the parent, which by the way were not serious,
Mm-hmm.
against somebody who is not even involved, to insult, to throw salt on the wounds of a child.
Right.
We don't
Right.
see other people do this. I've never turned on Fox News or ABC and seen the people being asked about an incident with a child. Oh, the parent is bad, so the child deserves it. I've never seen that. I've never seen anybody do
Yeah,
this.
like the
We are
parent.
the
Me not
only
like the
people.
parents, so the child deserve it.
Exactly. We're
Yeah,
the only people
that's
who are saying,
warped.
yeah, after shooting of kids, what do everybody say? What people say? Our thoughts and prayers.
Mm-hmm.
What would we say? Me not like your mother, so if you got dead.
Crazy.
We're out of what, by the way, I was gonna say out of what spirit,
Mm-hmm.
for all those Christians who would look at this and say out their mouth, him deserve it because him call next man's son Batman, so him son get ripped off, so it's fair.
Right.
I thought you were a Christian. Where is the mercy? Where is the love?
But
Where is the forgiveness?
but
Where
you know,
is the compassion? Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah,
Where then?
and that too. But you know, I was gonna say something, but I probably shouldn't. I'll take it back. I'm not gonna say it. I think before me talk. Yeah, you're on the right track. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly the
Yeah.
message I'm trying
And
to push.
yeah, and all to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing to he went to his house. He said, I can imagine the person who did that to your child. He
Mm-hmm.
said, come and meet me. I want to see you.
I want to talk to
I
you
want to talk to you.
offline,
Talk
off
to me about
camera.
what?
Right.
Talk to me about what? Me don't want to talk to him. I want to
Shouldn't it
talk to God.
thank you. Shouldn't the conversation be like this? You know, my son just tell me say you're molesting from my 7, and you should be like, what? Me? No. What? I don't like and then that should probably lead to listen, this is where I'm at. If you want to come find me, I'm telling you right now, me never do no such thing. Shouldn't it be like a complete denial and a complete trying to, instead of a quiet,
Exactly.
I want to talk to you offline?
But obviously, this person isn't mentally sane. Because
Boy,
I don't know which man will tell an next Jamaican man, somebody to steal something, steal child. Come find me, come meet me.
and
Where?
get the
This
address.
time, this place.
That's why I say it could have ended badly.
What?
Yes. Yeah, cause if my
Uh,
youth tell me that, and you'd give me your address for real and tell me about come find me, it's not gonna end good. It's not gonna end good because I'm not talking and I'm not
God.
saying anything when I show up. Me not point no camera, no nothing. So it'll be a totally different scene, right? But we all handles things differently. And Vegas, you know, like him said, if he goes to prison now, I'm well want to do him something. If he goes to prison now, then he's gonna leave the rest of his children to the judgment, meaning that he won't be out here anymore to, you know, be the main protector provider. They have to go find the next kind of way to survive and live and get taken care of, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Which you have to understand that angle too.
This shows the maturity that when we heard Vegas, you know, stepping up and getting his degree and whatever, he's not just smart, book smart. He's emotionally intelligent. We
Right.
need more people who understand that, yes, I'm angry, I'm upset, man, I don't want that show or whatever, but
You have to
thinking about
think.
long term. If
Right.
I do this to you and I go away and you're dead, my child will have nobody to
Yeah,
to help them
yeah.
because my child has been molested and them father gone to prison.
Hmm.
So who
That's
is there
just
to back up the
problem on
child,
top
help the
of
child
problem.
moving forward?
Yes.
So it's like shows the fact he even spoke to the mother. I know most men wasn't even thinking about what the mother would happen to the mother. They were just thinking, okay, that's him way, yeah, go to prison, I saw you go. They was thinking, what
I
about
think
the
it was
mother
very
and her
interesting
children?
I think it was very interesting when Vegas said the wife asked, so how you find him and all that. I think it was interesting how he said, I asked him for your number because him tell me say him just get married, right? So I asked him for the wife number and him said no, him no one give me your number because his marriage is going to mash up. Yeah.
I mean,
But she looked
but
like, you know,
all respect
honestly she looked like
to
she'll harbor him
Vegas.
anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, the way she was behaving, it wasn't even like whatever. It was kind of like but how did you know? But how did you find out? Why
Right.
you asking?
More like how you
How did you
found
know?
it.
The first thing you should be is screaming and crying and running.
Right.
I don't understand how she could react
Say
like that.
something
But
like
she
this better
obviously
not be
able to
true.
figure it out.
Yeah, say something like, "Come here, Mark. Come. This better not be true." Something.
Yeah,
But
but
anyhow,
she was really calm. So
mm-hmm.
I mean, all the best to Vegas and him family.
That's what we're
Big up
supposed to
Vegas
say.
for being smart then and there, not reacting on how him really feel or how all of we would really react and we feel. And to all those people who would throw salt on the wounds of a man's child
Mm-hmm.
who was violated, who was hurt. You
Mm-hmm.
probably wouldn't defend the kids around you because of what happened to their between you and your parents. So
Right.
shame on you. You are the part of the issue in our society. Shame on you.
Right. All right, my brother. I appreciate you calling all the time. Manners.
All right.
All right.
Listen.
For those of you all don't know, that's a young man who always makes sense when him call. Haven't heard from him in a while, but yeah. A next person say your name call pan bottom so much time. Now you are saying that man touching your son. Something doesn't seem right. How a big artist like you allow your son to be in this situation? You stick your nose in everybody's business. Now leave your son to be in this situation. That's to show you the levels that, and a whole heap of comments like these are under the post. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just telling you that the mindset of our people. Listen to me, man. And listen good. I'm glad Vegas never handled it out of a mad spirit and go there with firearm and actually use it and these things. I can tell by the place, the surroundings, that this is in Florida. And I believe he lives here as well. Probably has like permanent residency or something like that because he got school here and graduate from school here and all that, right? And he has been coming to Florida for years. So it's not a far stretch to say this is probably a place where he resides as well. Enough people never know say Mad Cobra resided in Florida as well. Them thinking they are Jamaica only. So, you know, it's one of those situations where you send best wishes, you hope and pray to God this never happened to any of yours. And that's all you can do. That's the most you can do. But to say anything out the way other than is improper. Is improper. I see somebody say Vegas need to pursue this regardless. I wouldn't know where to tell him to start because the guy is no longer in the alleged individual who did the deed is no longer in Jamaica where it's done. He's in the US. The Jamaican authorities will not press the US authorities to send him back so we can prosecute him. And he cannot be prosecuted here for something that took place in Jamaica. So, yeah, you're in one of them situations where you have to go watch this person move around, knowing what they did to your child. But as long as they're on these grounds, you can't do nothing. Or can you? That's up for another story. That's something that we shouldn't even talk about on live because I might take it to a place where, we have to be careful what we say in these days and times. It'll come back to haunt us. Next thing you hear, some I encourage. But when I don't know already, don't have to say much, right? Right. All right. Let's move on to our next topic now. And before I do, let me say again, I pray to God that this never reaches any of mine, and I pray it never reaches any of yours either. Some of you who are here right now went through stuff like this as a child and you're still traumatized. And you know what happens when these things happen to you by first hand because you experienced it. Right? And that may I said to Dorothy T, way better person than me. Because if that did happen to me, y'all would be reading about SouFLoTV this morning. And when they live them there, not do no more live. Rotted. Watch SouFLo on the front or on Channel 10 News. Watch him on the front of the Miami Herald. Because I saw it would have worked out for me. Yeah, and I promise you that's how it will work out for me. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning. Live on the air with
Give me
SouFLo.
one
Good
second.
morning.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, SouFLo.
Morning, family. How you doing?
All right. I call him on the Vegas thing. Me not really like Vegas and stuff.
Yeah, me know.
But yeah, he's not my artist or anything like that. But with
Right.
things like that, like this, never feel empathy and them things there. When I stick this out like that,
Yeah, animal.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah, whatever it can happen to anybody. But gonna life kind of have a point because you might never know. Because if I mean I want to put it out there like that, me that protect my child image, something like that. Who to tell if the child never kill himself for the father go put it out and people, everybody know now and start calling Batman. What do you think?
all right. I'll address that. I'll address that. But listen. That's exactly, if you look back on the history of this thing happening right among us and our people, like I said before, some of the people them right here, right now in this chat room have been through the same thing in them life. And it was the same concerns of their relatives that had them hiding it and not seeking to prosecute the individual who did it and not seeking to get any help for the child who endured it, because they were more concerned about who are gonna call the child what after this. Why them call him Daddy Gagas? I wonder if them are gonna call him other kind of name. There are more important things that we need to focus on in this dynamic than worried about who are gonna make up and call him name. Cause believe it or not, like I tell my kids, right? I said, don't focus on your little high school or your little junior high friends right now. I promise you, 10 years from now, you won't remember more than half of those people, and they won't even remember you either. You understand?
That was my thing too. It's true.
Right.
That way just said, true. I have a point to SouFLo, but boy, I don't know if that want the stigma from a child out there. I mean, I take action. That's so true. But maybe if you're just thinking about it, maybe if you just go out there and do that now, maybe if you take action, a few people might know. But then when you go to the whole internet, it's just the whole wide web no.
First of all, none of we don't even know what the youth look like, what him son look like. We don't. And in a few more years, we really won't know what him look like, even if we know what him look like. No, man get older, get big, get thin, who used to be fat, man grow a beard, dreadlocks, every kind of thing change up. And he's not going to be stationary for his entire life. So worrying about the few people in the community, we are going to make up name and call him name. That are the least. The person who did it needs to be exposed. The person who did it needs to be prosecuted. Some kind of justice needs to be done on behalf of that youth. And the youth need help. The youth need help. Kind of try kill himself. That's how important. I wouldn't worry about the rest of that. Well,
of course, it's so true. It's really, really so true, though. It's so true.
Right.
Well, maybe everybody different. So if I was me wouldn't want my mother or my father do that, But when people brave enough to come out and do that, and really have to commend them still.
Yeah, that matter.
Mm-hmm. I'm a feel it. I feel it SouFLo. I'm not telling you, I really, really feel it still, But anyway, I'm going to make somebody else call and go on with the show, yeah?
All right, family. Have a good day.
Yeah, cool. You too. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We have to have some level of empathy in a situation like this. You see? And you want to move on from the topic, but me have to say this. She asked something very important, because that is exactly why a lot of people hold back, stay quiet, don't say nothing. If you ask some of the people who've been through some stuff, yes, my mother didn't know. So why your mother never do something about it? Because she did shame and she didn't want the whole community know. And them laugh after we and this and that. Now you're a victim having to worry about how people are going to see you after something was done to you. Imagine that. Imagine that. It should be we need to foster a society, you see, where people can actually outright say what happened to them because they are so confident that no blowback will come from it. Nobody now going to stigmatize me and laugh after me. If anything, they're going to try to be empathetic towards me and try to be helpful in some kind of way. Yo, listen, come here, let me talk to you. That's something that will get publicized, say happened to you. It happened to me too. That form a support group, right? Our whole community is supposed to be a support group. That's what we're supposed to be, a support group. who it happened to already can talk to the young man and say, yo, me here where I got through and me did feel the same way, but this is how I came out of it, blah, 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 all the other things. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Morning, family. How you doing?
I'm doing the camera right now.
Oh, your phone a break up, so you have it on speaker or Bluetooth?
Yeah, speaker, yeah. Now the thing, now I've touched on the subject with Mr. Vegas. I hear a lot of people say, him shouldn't deal with it so, and shouldn't deal with it so. But let me explain to some of the listeners and the viewers. You're not a victim. And when you're not a victim, you can't say that. I am a victim. And let me explain to you. I was in the same situation as Mr. Vegas' son at the same age. The only difference mine was with a man. And when I tell him, I never forget my mother and I need the tree I wash. And we couldn't call her by her name because as a young kid, you don't know if you call the parent. I'm a mother and I need the tree I wash. I'm going to go to her and say, Serna, so. And so for my mother dropped that bad pan. And my mother go outside. And the scandal when my mother grow with that shame, me crawl up underneath the cellar. And I said, Jesus Christ. Me shame. Me no want for days. Me no want to go to school. Me no want nobody see me.
What should do? Go tell everybody?
She scandal the person. She got the person.
Same.
And I was embarrassed. But and when I grew up, my mother told me, I said, but as me get older, I realize she was a victim also. And that's the way she didn't know how to react.
Right.
All right. When me come and work in a music and have children, me entertain them when they come from Jamaica, and my house, them come, most of them come still. And one of them was a child molester and I never know. And it's so I'm going to clinic, and my daughter gone to school, but look like my daughter come out early that day. And he come and she let him in because she knows that they must stay.
Right.
You know, him try to molest my daughter never tell me till she become an adult.
Wow.
And I react the same way. So some of them are saying, if Vegas take a gun and kill that man, then same man did the same, should kill the man, him should leave it in the hands of the law. What hurt him, you know, him never knowing because remember the mother hide it, the child hide it. For, you know, because them never feel, probably them know him that react this way.
Right.
So maybe that's why them not telling. What I don't like and what I mad about, some blogger I can look at but Vegas final same son of Batman. That is wrong.
Right. I
that
call the little
wrong.
youth Batman now.
Yes, that is wrong.
That...
Who not for Vegas because Vegas go for bounty. When me not like, who not in the industry, who not know, me not hear none of say. But it is wrong to go off of Vegas' career all these years. And one time Vegas stand up to defend himself. We want to crucify him like Jesus on the cross. Me not defend him, but me the dead. I mean, know where Bunty do. I mean, know say Bunty now rejoice for what happened to Vegas son right now. Me know Bunty hurt. Me know Bunty hurt. He might not like Vegas for whatever reason, because they hate each other over girl. You understand? And Bunty just take that little further and go off of Vegas. You know? And yeah, when a man try to kill a career as an artist, you know, and in a position where he can stand up and fight, they will fight, you know.
Right.
So Vegas decide to fight back now.
Right.
Anyway, Vegas might call one of them blogger the child handicap, which him should have never did.
Right.
But why Vegas did? Because she become a psychiatrist and I try to break down, analyze Vegas behavior. And I know me she say no, so going to the wrong to go for this man to serve.
So it still come from that. It still come from that.
Yes. And Vegas wrong to say the child was handicapped and shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But me understand him do it out of anger because at him feel say she shouldn't analyze him because she don't know where he got to. And when we're wrong, we must turn up and say we're wrong. You cannot analyze him, Vegas. You're not a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
You don't know he might be a such one, but we can want to hurt him.
But even that, Lady Ann, even that, this is the great Lady Ann, by the way, people. Even that, me not even have to go in any of that. I just feel like we have to have some principle. When it comes to the youth, them, off limits, period. Off limits. Me not gonna try to talk for your next man and most kids off limits, period. Whatever he said before, Whatever I'm saying
Him
before about
wrong
other
to say the
people
woman
picnic.
child is a handicap. But
Yeah.
man, him mad and him do it out of anger. Like a parent, she become a victim and she snap at him too. So you see, when you become a victim of your child, is how you behave. You see the difference?
Right.
Listen, people for stop it. Stop saying Vegas Batman's son. He was a child. So, all right, when what happened to me, the one I said, me did love fuck and me deserve it, what the man do? No. No, you can't say that. You're not a victim. You not know. My daughter, big man, though, even though the man never get to touch her, she still mad. She angry at me because she said, me bring him to the house. I'm mad at her for not telling me. She wait when she had to tell me, son, stop it. It can't happen to anybody, child. I'm hurt, I'm breaking, and I cry because I'm to me too. I'm a mother react, me see him here. I want to stop it.
And you never know no better way to react than the way how your mother did react.
Exactly.
Right.
I feel that's a real kind child and he never know and he feel guilty. Kind of say, the child never trusted me enough to tell him. I want to start eating to him, go off a bunch do him wrong.
Yeah, for them think that. You know more about that than me. For them think that. I'm just saying that the picnic them should be off limits.
Never go like them in a studio. Never go like them in the dance hall with me. Never go like them was there for no. You don't know. You don't know. Stop it. He have a right to defend himself for what we want to do to him. Stop it. Me not defending but the truth are the truth.
Yeah.
No, but I remember crying when I saw the people that go on. And this is why so far I don't come on the internet and put something out there. If I did talk to Vegas, I know the Vegas, put out there like that. How I said, don't mention your child in it. Just say he molest some kids, but as a parent, he become the victim, and that's not the way he want to react. I'm glad he showed the boy. Me glad you see the boy stand up to advice what I say, in case you look to have sex and the truth, you might eat to run to get money or 12 years to get one to pay for no talk. And you keep with the boy that was, hey, instead for the me like Vegas, I think Vegas said hot. Instead for the me smoke for like how me know where him live and me have imagined, I just take him out, you see. I just take him out, you see. I just take him out. Listen, stop it. Soon the children can't fall and a karma reach Vegas. So stop and rejoice. When I rejoice at this man divide, is the child when I rejoice. And then a karma reach him. To him say you pick me on the camp and a karma. You fast and business and him throw a big stone on your head. Me no care, you can't come for me. You fast and business, him a bunch of problem and you analyze him like a psychiatrist and fling a big stone out to. Yes, me never personally like the stone and fling out to cause your youth off limit. Your child never have nothing to do with it. But no, you are rejoice. You're a big mouth, ugly man, they be throwing a company that rejoice. I call him little you batting man. In front of in front of me. On the foot, go and roll up and dead. That's all I have to say in the slow for.
Manners and respect here. Yeah, she lit up about it. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Bye. Respect you as a shame, brother.
Manners family.
Respect you as a shame. Because when you come to you, then picking them off limit, man.
Yeah, picking them off limit. Fully off limit.
Off limit, I respect you.
When I ramp with my own, man, I don't ramp with nobody else own, because I treat them like my own. Real talk. Yeah.
We have one little girl, we have girl when you come to me, left me pick me outside. That's me, I say.
Yeah, true. All right. Listen, me like I said something before, right? Here's the thing. And I probably shouldn't, but me think about it. Ninja Man's son, if you go on YouTube and go type in right now, Ninja Man's son says turn down for what? SouFLoTV. You're going to see that I did a full thing a long time ago, you know. I did a full coverage on Ninja Man's son. Ninja Man's son is Ninja Man's son is very out there. Okay? He wasn't hiding it. So, and him we tell us him is a proud Batman. And that's how he was speaking. So if people were saying to Ninja Man, say, well, your son is a Batman, then it was true. It was true. Y'all don't understand the levels to this though. you classifying a little youth, right? First of all, the youths are off limits, and then you take it past that and you said, forget that, I'm going in at the youth, and now you are called the youth a title because something was done to the youth as a youth. That's completely wrong. Completely wrong. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFlo.
Morning, family. How you doing?
And the family.
Good, good.
It sounds like maybe this guy thought Vegas was in the same thing.
As in what?
Pedophilia. And when he says meets him offline, because there is a serious disconnect in this guy's thinking. If you harmed a child, how in hell do you think you're gonna meet up with the parent of that child and not expect something terrible to happen to you?
I don't know.
There is mental disconnect going on with this guy and the commenters who have no compassion. They don't even recognize the child.
Yeah, I don't think
they're after Vegas. It's a different mindset.
Yeah.
And it's painful to observe this lack of compassion.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And that's probably why most Jamaican population have gone through this. And when they run upon people who's supposed to protect them, have no compassion. If anything, they want to violate them as well.
Right.
And that's why this is perpetuated.
Right.
And it's like part of the culture.
Right.
Unspoken secret.
Some people are deflecting.
Yes.
Some people are deflecting because deep down they have their own traumas from similar yes.
And they shelf it and relabel it and put hatred around. So when they hear something like this, they blame the child.
Right.
Because when it happened to them, they couldn't defend themselves.
Right.
They couldn't do anything, and they see it as weakness.
Right.
And hatred. So the child is insignificant. Let me focus on his career and the nickname they give him and all that nonsense. And the child is not even mentioned.
Yeah, we have to do better than that.
It's sad. It's painful to just listen to this.
Yeah, but in looking at everything now, I mean, look at us now as a people. Like, we don't love each other like how we used to. People who we call old school now, if you ask them about Jamaica before, and even me, if you ask me about Jamaica, I call my generation the middle gap generation because I have children now of my own that are getting to be grown and stuff. So you have them there, and then you have my parents' generation, and I'm in the middle, right? That middle gap generation. Even us and those before us, if you ask them, we had community back in the day. Not saying nothing never happened, and not saying the place was perfect, but certain things, once it was brought to light, it was dealt with in a whole different way. And it was always about helping each other, and it was always about empathy and sympathy and love, and that gone. So our whole community is gone. We don't have community anymore. It's every man for himself now. So it's nothing for me to tell you about you and under your mother and you two picking them and all of that, because I don't relate to y'all. There's no community fostered between us anymore. I don't see you as a part of any community that I'm a part of. You are Jamaican, me are Jamaican, so what? You know? And we've lost that. And from we lost that, then it's just downhill for the rest of everything else we got to deal with. The murder rate. Every day we look at somebody get killed, and now we're so desensitized. We're like, yeah, well, it's the whole of the brain mash out on the road and talk about stuff like that like it's nothing anymore. Whereas before, coming up, people used to be like, oh, God have mercy, him chop him. Lord, me can't look. Me don't want to see the blood. Me don't want to see the flesh. Me don't want to see the this and that. Now we are conditioned different. We look. We see it. All right, it's a regular thing. Next one, we're in a terrible place. We're in a terrible place.
The programming is complete. Yeah. But what I want to know is, don't we have enough sense to see we were programmed and conditioned to turn into these feelingless drones with no human
no.
attributes?
No.
We're just
No.
because
it feels too good. Not as a collective.
Feel good.
Yeah, it feels too good. There's a whole lot of distraction involved that makes people feel good about being that way. A whole lot,
but
just just
it's stupid. You feel good for what? 5 seconds versus feeling good over the period of a lifetime with your family and your loved ones. What kind of mindset is?
That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
All right, I'm gonna call back into my cave and hide out.
All right, manners and respect, family.
All right, best to you and the family.
Same to you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all of us don't reach a certain level of consciousness at the same time. So, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot of people out there who are just happy being blind and happy walking around in the state that we're in, and them disrespectful and they're rude and they don't care about nothing and all this, and it's me and mine's only. That's where we're at. Okay, we can't hide that. That's where we're at, and that is what it is. One day they'll wake up, but others will have moved on. Some will have passed on. A new generation will come with their new way of thinking, and hopefully it'll be something better. But if the generation before wasn't better, the other generation coming up is only going to be worse. Right. Anyhow, Mad Cobra is released on bond. The details of Mad Cobra being released on bond. Shout out to Dancehall Mag. Mad Cobra was set at $125,000 US bond in South Carolina and is said to be facing 30 years in a US prison. Veteran dancehall artist Mad Cobra has been released from lockup on $125,000 US bond following his arrest on drug and gun possession charges stemming from a traffic stop in Florence County, South Carolina. If you look at the icon for this video this morning, you will see the two packages wrapped up that they said it's 2 kilos of cocaine, and you will also see the firearm. I'm a firearm enthusiast. That firearm looked nice, but me just I say. Anyhow, the 55-year-old Jamaican artist whose name is Ewart Everton Brown was given what's called a surety bond of $5,000 on the charge of the possession of the weapon during a violent crime. I guess transporting cocaine is considered a violent crime, and $120,000 on the charge of trafficking in 400 grams or more. And we went over the guidelines yesterday of how you will be tried, and based on those guidelines, 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams, first offense, second offense, 400 grams or more, how many years? Right. So in South Carolina, a surety bond requires a person to pay money upfront or pledge collateral to get out of jail. That means you have to go put up a house or put up some property or something to get out. The amount of surety bond has to be posted with the jail, or the detainee may hire a bondsman who will charge a non-refundable fee in exchange for posting that bond for them. Mad Cobra was bonded out on Wednesday, July 26. The Florence County Detention Center noted that, which means that he secured his release through collateral, property, or a promise to pay, which is through a bondsman. We'll have to talk about the big song Flex and all these other things. I see. Mad Cobra is a known artist. When you see people like Vlad TV and these kind of people pick up your story, then you know, right? So I woke up this morning and it was on Vlad TV, and I was like, wow. But then I go to the comment section and it's like, we press trigger, we not press people button. Oh, he did say that. Remember that. Another person was like, Flex, time to go to prison. And the next person was like, they're just clowning out the whole thing. I saw somebody said something that made sense. They said maybe it wasn't his vehicle. Maybe it's a brethren vehicle him take for a spin and, let me test out the bimmer and a Gassitan police pull him over, and he didn't know that the drugs was in there, and he's cooperating with the officials. That's why he was able to get out. Somebody said, hold on a minute there. You don't come from America, and them catch you in the South Carolina, with 2 kilos of cocaine and a firearm, and you come out the next day with $125,000 bond, something don't make sense. Whatever the case may be, I'm not going to insinuate anything. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to say exactly what I said yesterday. I will not kick my brother when he's down, and I will send my best wishes. And we don't know the intricate details of the story, so we have to go wait to see what comes off, right? Court date set, go to court with your attorney. Everything will be exposed. Then we will know, and then we can talk like so we know something when the details are exposed. Until then, it is what it is. South Carolina has tough penalties for the distribution of large amounts of cocaine. Over 400 grams, which is what he is caught up in, carries a fine of 200,000 US dollars and 25 to 30 years in prison. It also has other guidelines and stipulations. First-time offenders, I don't know if they're going to look at him as and hit him with the full brunt of the law. I don't know if it's his cocaine. I don't know if it's his vehicle. I don't know. So I'm not going to talk more upon when we don't know. We're just going to leave it right there, right? Crystal G says he must be a citizen, him not running. Well, they didn't see him as a flight risk, so they offered him a low bond. That's pretty low. I've seen people's bond set at $500,000 for the same stuff, right? I've seen people bond set at $600,000 for the same stuff. So for him to get 125 bond out and a surety bond, I wish him all the best. But that's the update so far. The reason this surprised a lot of people is that the gun can be lawfully owned, and you may never have threatened or pointed the gun at anyone, but by simply having the gun in your possession while you are committing a crime, as in transporting drugs, picks up a whole nother charge to itself. That's just something to know for the future for people. We don't have much time left on the morning thoughts this morning, so we did the whole Mr. Vegas something. There's a lot to be learned from that. It still tells me that we have a lot to talk about as a community in order to get to a place where we can actually start to heal. Let me tell you something. There's nothing you can do to fix a problem if you, in your mind a problem don't exist. You hear me? So as a collective, as a people, as a diaspora, ain't nothing we can do to fix certain issues, especially like that, because enough of we don't see it as a problem. But we have to first see it as a problem, then we have to be willing to talk about the problem and be open and honest about the problem. And only then will we start to come to realistic solutions that can be applied to make us better people or make the future better for our little ones that are coming up, right? I'm going to left it right there. So I will close by saying this. This topic I wanted to talk more about, but we've talked about it so many times already. Just hang on to this. Hang on to this. Can't take no more calls for the morning. I apologize. But hang on to this as we go out. A man finds out after 11 years that his son, who is 11, is not his. He confronts his wife about it. This is a video I just watched. He confronts his wife about it, right? Here's a couple of things that could change that. Reverse child support. Reverse child support. One thing I notice is that the system doesn't do reverse child support. So for instance, if I'm paying for a child, say $350, let's do a number. Let's say $400 a month. Let me pull out my calculator and show you something. $400 per month, right? For $400 per month, $400 a month times 12 months equals $4,800 times 11 years equal $52,800. If women knew that stringing a man along for say 11 years, it's not his, I mean, no, say I don't feel me, but I can't tell him on them. And at the end of that, when you got caught, the court said your wages will be garnished and you will have to pay this money back. And this is one debt that you cannot write off with bankruptcy or anything like that, because them have those luxuries in the US, right? You can crash out and write off your debts as bankruptcy, file chapter 13, start all over again. Your debts, your debt people cannot call you for the debt anymore. It's actually illegal and all that. But this is one that you cannot write off. A student loan, you can't write that off. I don't know if people don't know that as well. You can file bankruptcy, write off everything. You can't write off a student loan. However, if these women knew that $400 a month I paid you for the last 11 years, child support, $52,800 is a bill you will have to pay back. If the court set a date to start paying it, which is immediately, and a date to finish paying it, which means you're going to have to stick to a certain amount every month to pay it back off, because I'm not waiting 11 years back for the money, this would stop. Another thing that the system can do is they can make mandatory a DNA test at every birth. Right from birth, DNA test. And before they put these people on child support, a DNA test should be mandatory as well. You know, a DNA test is not mandatory to put somebody on child support. So you could very well end up on child support for your jacket. Right. So these things become mandatory. We'll get rid of all that. That's what I wanted to say. I wish we could talk more about that, but it is what it is. Jacket's still a fling. People still get them feelings hurt, finding out later that it's not theirs. The story about the youth that got caught in the police house, I will do that on a whole different video, because that deserves a lot of talking. All right. With that said, it's 9 a.m. It's time to get up out of here. Tomorrow morning, God spare my life, will be Friday morning. I will be here, but it will probably only be for a 1-hour show. So make sure you tune in early, because I have appointments that start early in the morning as well. I don't want to just skip the morning thoughts. We have to go out, end the week as a family on high vibrations, right? All right. Manners and respect to each and every one of you. Thank you for being here this morning. God go with you. Keep God with you throughout the day. Remember, karma is real, and be good. Be good to yourself and be good to others. One love. I'm out. Peace.